Just so y'all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of recap everything for you from the start, okay? So if you already got information, if I'm giving you information you already got, it's because we want to kind of go through the whole spiel.
That's correct. We've
Here.
all agreed that we're going to have to yell at y'all about speaking up once we're outside. So. Speak up!
All right, can everybody good? Mic check good. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Today, we just want to kind of recap what we had this morning in the way of a fire. Obviously, we got a call somewhere around 6:24 this morning to respond to a structure fire. In the route, we were told that there were two structures that was on fire. And obviously, when the fire crews arrived on the scene, that's where we discovered two fires in these a fire in these two structures. We did call the second alarm, and the reason why we called the second alarm was because we had two structure fires, and it being a two-story house, so we want to make sure we got enough people out on the scene. We responded about 48 firefighters and about 15 pieces of equipment, which includes support vehicles. Once we got into putting the fire out, we had some residents to come up and say that they had some video of a person. So at that point, we realized that we needed to turn this over to law enforcement. So that's kind of where we are right now. So I'm quite sure Chief Holbrook will have more information.
Thank you, Chief. Um, Once the video was brought forward, as Chief Jenkins mentioned, law enforcement was notified, and we responded as soon as the fire scene was under control, where we could, I guess, look around the scene, review some of the video. It was very apparent that it was an intentionally set fire. We identified both these structures and another structure nearby where a fire had also been set, and it burned itself out before it was able to do damage like we see behind us. We have detained a person that we believe is responsible for this. It's the same person that has been seen in the videos that have been circulating around. He's at headquarters right now being questioned. We also requested the State Law Enforcement Division to respond and assist us with processing this scene and conducting this investigation. That is a protocol we've followed for the last couple of years on major fire investigations. As you've seen in the past, anytime we work with SLED, it's very much a seamless process. It brings, because we typically work together, there's a lot of continuity that you see with major investigations, and that's no different with this fire scene. They've identified a number of areas where we think the suspect came in contact with. They're helping process those scenes, and again, this is preliminary information. Some things could change. As far as the charges, that's to be determined, and we'll push that out in a written release with specifics, with some more specific details.
And so you said that he tried to set two other fires at some other locations?
No, I didn't say that. I said we believe he set these two fires, and that he attempted to set another fire, but it extinguished itself.
Or was that at a house?
It was at a house nearby.
That was all here this morning.
Yes.
So when you say it's a major fire investigation, is that because these are houses that are owned by the governor, or just because of the severity of the damage and everything?
The ownership has no bearing on the investigation. The two houses that were occupied, it could have been an absolute tragic scene other than the property damage that we're seeing. We're very fortunate that the people inside were able to get out safely, and there's a lot of damage.
Chief Holbrook, I know it's still early in the investigation. You're questioning the suspect, but do you believe he knew the people that lived here? Was it pre-planned, or?
We really don't know that. That's something we hope to glean from the interviews.
Was he a student here? Do you know his background?
Don't know much about his background yet. We believe he was, resided in the area, but we don't know details personally about him. If he was a student or did he grow up here, we don't know that yet.
Anything in his background that he's tried to do something like this before?
We don't know anything about him yet.
Do you know how he started the fire yet?
We found him nearby.
When you say that it's very clear that he attempted to set the fire, from what you've seen, what exactly do you mean by that? Is there any kind of generals that you can give that kind of tipped you guys off to that?
No, obviously the videos that I think have been circulating, I don't know how much has been made public yet, other than what we know what we have released. But some of those videos contain some, I guess some evidence that shows, potentially how we think the fire might have been set. But again, those are things that will be determined by the evidence that's collected and what's submitted to the lab for testing, and then, ultimately maybe what he shares with us.
Talk a little bit about having the availability of these videos, because I know with arsons, a lot of times, it's hard to get evidence because a lot of it can have been burned in the fire. So having something like this, I mean, how did it help your investigation?
Well, any investigation, anytime we have video, it's, it makes our job so much easier. Obviously, it's an instant pointer to us in a direction we need to look at. This particular video not only gave us some insight into how the fire potentially started, but also very clear shot of the person we believe is responsible for it, and we're able to push that out very quickly. And through people being interested in what goes on in their neighborhoods and paying attention, we got a very shortly after it was released, got a quick tip, and we're able to do some quick follow-up and end up detaining someone.
Where did that surveillance come from? Was it from one of these units here?
Yes.
Which one?
I don't know yet.
Do you know if this person was under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
Don't know yet.
Do you know if he knew these individuals that lived in these properties?
We don't know that yet.
When you guys found him, was he surprised? Was he kind of admitting to what he did to kind of help narrow it down, or?
I couldn't speak to what his demeanor was. He was not combative, but again, I don't know what his frame of mind is, and we hope to have a little more insight after we talk with him.
And Chief, just to reiterate, Chief Jenkins, that fire started in that alleyway right there, on that side here of this White House.
We do.
Talking about exactly where it started.
Yeah, we do know it started at the White House, but exactly where it started at this point, we can't get that. Don't have the information right yet.
Believe that it started on that side right there,
Based on the fact that it's still an investigation, I want to kind of like not talk about that right now.
And Chief Jenkins, seeing as how it went from one house to the other, was there anything that contributed to that happening?
Well, I think anytime you got a house that's built this close, and this is not unusual. Sometimes we respond to calls and the house is built so close that it would catch the next house on fire. So basically, it don't have to be the flames that actually impinged on it. It can just be the heat from the flames that caused it to catch on fire.
So I know you guys, of course, are saying that it looks like it was very deliberate with him setting the fire. Does it look like, was it just located specifically to the White House and then it just spread to the darker house?
From all reports that we got, it started at one house, and then we got an update saying that it has spread to the second house. So that's what we're looking at.
Chief, how lucky is it that no one got injured in this incident?
I think it's very fortunate that no one was injured. I mean, when you're in your home that time in the morning and a fire starts, basically you want to make sure you can get out. So we're just thankful that no one got injured. It's just a blessing no one got injured.
Chief Holbrook, is this your only suspect in this case?
You never want to say that. It's way too early, but we have seen no evidence thus far that he was helped or that there was any accomplice. But again, we're very early, so I would not.
No motive yet, no indication as to why he was out there?
No.
When do y'all expect to release the name?
And later this afternoon.
I got a question. So, how many people were in these houses? Does anybody know?
Do we have an official count?
At one point, we reported 12. I think we had heard were in the house, but we weren't sure that was in there.
I'm not sure how many people were in the house. We do know that 12 people are being basically displaced between the two of them.
I believe there's a law in South Carolina, or in Columbia specifically, that says you can only have 4 people per housing unit that aren't blood relatives. Am I wrong on that, or do y'all know? Could y'all speak to that? Because that would seem like there's too many people in these 2 houses.
I can't speak to that. Then it all depends on what type of house it is.
There is a limit, but I'm not sure how this particular unit's broke down inside. If it's one roof.
Chief Jenkins, let me ask you this. Were there fire alarms, smoke alarms present in both of these houses? Were they working? Because we had spoke with someone that said in the area where they were at, they didn't have anything.
I can't answer that right now, but the ones that I spoke to, they said that they did hear the alarm going off. One said that they heard. I only spoke to one in one house, and I'm not sure which house they were affiliated with. But I asked them did they have any working smoke alarms, and they told me they did have working smoke alarms.
And the fact that SLED was here doing this investigation, how did that increase and actually make this happen faster, this investigation? At least getting someone detained in this particular case. Or is that typical with something like this?
Well, any major fire investigation, for the last couple of years, we have included SLED in our investigative response. So we're very fortunate that we're seated where Columbia is seated is where SLED headquarters is, so their response to major scenes for us is immediate. And the more people you can get on scene to initiate an investigation, you're increasing your chances of a positive outcome, and I think that's what you saw this morning.
I don't know which one of you wants to answer this, but so where does the investigation go from here? It might be you, Chief Holbrook, just to talk about how SLED you guys are going to be working together for.
Well, the investigation is where it should be. We've got somebody detained. There's a SLED agent and a police detective conducting the interview. We'll continue to work with fire officials as we work through the scene. When they actually get in there and start digging around and finding exactly where, if they can pinpoint where the ignition source was and what caused that, and again, we'll put that case together. The solicitor's office was on scene and consulted with. We'll present our findings to the solicitor and make the appropriate charges, and then we'll share that with you all.
Again, y'all haven't dealt with this person before, any sort of fire-related acts or anything like that?
Not that we know right now.
I hope I'm not repeating. Is there any indication that this person, the suspect, maybe set these because they're owned by the governor?
No, not. We don't have anything to suggest that whatsoever. Again, we really don't know much about him, the motive of why this occurred. Hopefully, we'll know more about that later this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank y'all.